11 wins down, 2 more to go for the perfect season. The South Summit Wildcats take care of business in Camas last Friday night over the Delta Rabbits, and they look forward to their big revenge game against Beaver in just a couple of days. Also, Brent Martindale talks to Matt Carlson of Park City Girls Volleyball a little bit about their season as well as their first game coming up this week. And finally, we talked to Park City Mountain Biking about the close of their season as well as some prestigious awards. It's a brand new episode of The Scoreboard, and it's coming up right now. The South Summit Wildcats remain undefeated. They are now 11-0, and the perfect season resides at 13-0. 2 more wins to go, but for right now, I got the chance to talk to Caden Hunter as well as Brandon Mora a little bit about some huge clutch plays at the close of last Friday's game over the Delta Rabbits. Hey everyone, right now we are joined by Caden Hunter, and Caden, we're coming off a very emotional quarterfinal game. How'd the team do tonight?
I think they performed really well. You know, at that very end, man, that was a gut wrencher, right? At the edge of your seat kind of a game. But I really am proud of every single person on this team for stepping it up the way they did, man. I mean, great finish, great finish.
It was scary. I mean, couple minutes left in the fourth quarter, up by multiple touchdowns. They scored 2 touchdowns in just about under a minute and a half. I mean, what was going on with the defense? What was being said, I should say?
I mean, at the very start, I mean, there wasn't really much to say. Like, there was just a lot of shock. Like, man, like if we don't tighten up and fix our mistakes and stay disciplined for the rest of the game, it's over. And then, you know, with the seniors group, with all that they have done for us underclassmen, we did not want to send them off that way. So at that very end, I think every single one of us was willing to die for each other, like not going out like this.
What was going through your head when they picked up the first onside recovery?
A lot of angry words I can't say on TV, but at first, I mean, I trusted these guys, and I knew that we're going to be okay in this end.
And the number one reason we're talking to you is because you had the most clutch play of the entire game. You recover the second onside recovery, which if they would have taken that, you might be going home tonight. And so that was huge. What was going through your head when the kickoff happened and when you realized the ball's coming to you?
Well, the play right before, I was getting ready to catch the first one, and good old Ben caught it right in front of me, and I was excited for him. I was like, okay. And I remembered that there was earlier, I almost had a touchdown, but they called that one off. And I just remembered, man, like, I care about these guys so much. Like, last year, this just doesn't feel real, honestly. I mean, honestly, there was nothing really to think about. I just saw the ball, and at this point, I get hit in the head a lot, so it was just reactionary.
You held on to it all the way walking back. What were you saying to your teammates right there?
I was basically mumbling under my breath, "Take this one from me."
Yeah.
Because that touchdown, I was like, "Oh, this one, I'm not letting this one go."
I mean, what a night for the entire team. What was it like being back after 14 days off?
A little rusty at the start, right? Especially that very first play. Like they came out and they fired off. But after that, once you get, everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the mouth, right? And once we got kind of hit, we were like, okay, let's adjust, let's fix our mistakes and stay disciplined.
Yeah. About midway through the second quarter, it was looking like it was going to be a very, very close game. About halfway through the second, the third, the fourth, up until those final minutes, I mean, you were dominating. Is that what the team needs to look like going down to Cedar next week?
Oh, for sure. Because if we make the mistakes we did late in the fourth quarter and early on and don't come out firing, I mean, we'll be down 21-0 like that. So if we fire off like we did and stick to the discipline, stick to the brotherhood, I think we can pull off the victory.
Caden, it's going to be either Summit Academy, who you have faced here earlier on this season. You've also got Beaver as well, who could potentially win that game. It is 17-14 as we speak right now, going into the fourth quarter. Who would you rather face next week down south?
Honestly, I'm good with either. Like, me and the guys, we're going to go huddle up. We're going to go watch that game in the auditorium. We want to know, and we want to face the better team because we want to prove we're the best team. Because I've heard on some news stories that they think that 10-0 wasn't enough, or wasn't enough to say we're the best. But it's time for us to prove it. No matter, we want the best team. We want the better team. We'll take it.
Caden Hunter, make sure to catch him next week down in Cedar. Hey everyone, right now we are joined by Brandon Mora following the game. Brandon, how you feeling just a couple minutes after the game?
Pumped. Fourth quarter, a lot happened, but we came out to win. A win's a win, so going on to next week, and I'm just excited to play next week.
It's kind of ugly, kind of scary there. On the special teams play, talk me through that 2-point conversion. You had the most key sack. I mean, that was a huge difference maker. As the clock was ticking down, what was going through your head when you got that sack?
I just saw the quarterback line up. I saw the trips on the other side, so I looked at my coach and I asked him if I could go because I knew he was rolling out that way. So, as soon as I looked at the ball, as soon as the ball was snapped, I ran, chased him down. I saw I could get it, and I just dove on him.
Obviously, it wasn't going to be the game changer. It wouldn't have put them up, but it really was the emotional difference maker. I mean, it was 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion in just under a couple of minutes. And so you had to think to yourself, this is going to be key in order to keep the morale up. Do you think that's what happened there in the last couple of to hold them off for the last 90 seconds of the game?
Yeah, I knew it was 26-30, so I knew if they scored one more point, it would be within 3 points, which means they could score on a field goal. So I knew we needed to stop them right there to hold them to at least scoring a touchdown. So I just went in and, did my job.
So now, as we speak, I was just talking to Caden about it as well, 17-14 going into the fourth quarter, Beaver versus Summit Academy. How do you see that game playing out, and who would you rather face next week down south?
Honestly, I don't really care who we face. We're just going to work hard all week. Doesn't matter who we face. We're just going to go out there, play our game, and come out with the W.
How important is health going to be? How many players are you think could potentially be on the injury reserve going into next week?
Oh, it's going to be super important. We're going to have to take a week, rehab, get our guys right. We have a couple guys that are injured right now, so we're just going to take the week, try to get them better, and have them back for next week.
Last question for me. How nice was it to have 2 weeks off so that you didn't have to worry about a game last Friday?
Oh, it was nice. We just practice, just trying to get better within those 2 weeks, and now we're prepared for playoffs, so we'll just see next week.
Brandon, you did a fantastic job tonight. Thank you so much. Great job. Well, the Park City girls volleyball team did clinch region just the other night. Brent Martindale got the chance to talk to Coach Matt Carlson a little bit about the season, what the plan has been throughout the season, and what to look forward to as they have their first playoff game tonight here in Park City.
We're with Matt Carlson, Park City High School girls volleyball coach. Matt, thanks for taking a minute with us here. Let's talk about your season. You've had an outstanding season. You are co-region champions in Region 5. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about your region season.
It's been definitely one of huge progress. We started the season pretty slow.
Playing some pretty tough teams.
Yeah, playing tough teams throughout the whole season. But we put together a tough schedule because we wanted to test ourselves and find out what we need to work on. And it's really paid off. We've started slow, but then we definitely got some momentum towards the end of the season and figure things out. It's been really, really fun and to see just the girls grow as much as they have.
So, you talk about preseasons a lot with teams and playing good teams. The whole 5A right now is crazy good. So looking on the rankings, in the top 10 in the state, there's only like 3 or 4 teams in 6A in that top 10. How do you explain that in the 5A? And what is it like playing against everybody?
Yeah, 5A is so deep this year, which is just awesome. Most 5A teams, I think every 5A team has beaten a 6A team. Like, so the top on the RPI, it's all the 5A teams that beat in the top 6A teams. It's just awesome. It just shows that volleyball is just deep in the state of Utah. And it's fun to be part of this classification. It means if you're winning, you're probably one of the best teams in the state. Like, if not in this Western United States, it's pretty incredible just to see what's happening out there.
All right, so playing Salem Hills, you guys doing a non-region tonight. Fun match. Yeah. 2 really good high match teams. but they're pretty good. And they're not even top in their region, but they're so close. You played in this region a couple of years ago. Why did you want to play somebody like Salem right now?
You know, it's number one is they're well coached and they got some great athletes, and it's always been this fun rivalry between us and Salem since we were in the region from last year. You know, 3 years ago they knocked us out of state. Last year, or 2 years ago we knocked them out of state, and then we moved regions. But we want to keep it alive, right? We went down there last year, had a nice, fun feast with them, and they came up this year. We fed them, and it's just this really fun, healthy rivalry, just to help prepare ourselves for for state, help them for state, help us for state, and they're awesome. They're a well-coached team, great athletes, and really we want to again find out all of our weak spots right before we go to the state tournament. Same thing with them, and and hopefully just get battle tested.
You guys have, I know one of your seniors is injured, and I know one of your starters, I believe. Tell us what you're looking like as a team right now, how you're feeling going into, you're going to find out tomorrow morning who you play next week in the first round. How are you feeling right now with your team?
You know, we're playing with a lot of confidence, and we're peaking at the right time. So I think the girls have this really strong belief in what they can do and accomplish. Obviously tonight missing, one of our starting right sides, it hurts a little bit, but the girls stepped in and we made a few uncharacteristic errors. And I think just the pressure of the night of the event got to us a little bit, but that's what we want to see ahead of time, right? Which is perfect preparation. So, we're feeling confident. We're feeling that we can take on any team in the state right now if we play our best, and we're just hoping we show up at the state tournament.
What do you expect in the state tournament? I know you guys want to win every game. Who's looking pretty good in the 5A? We were just talking about that a minute ago. Who might you see, and who are you thinking might cause you the most trouble?
Yeah, so it's pretty clear delineation between the top 5 teams in the state, and then from 6 through 16. I think 6 through 16, anybody can beat anybody. But the top 5, you're going to have to play your best. So Salem Hills is one of the top 5 teams. But you have Bountiful, you have Timpview, you have Mountain View, and then you have Maple Mountain. Those are the top 5 teams right now in 5A. And really, we hope to see one of those teams in the quarterfinals. And then if we play our best game, we think we can take them. Getting there is going to be, we got to play good volleyball, but to be in the semifinals, we got to play our best volleyball. And I think we can do that. I really do.
State tournament begins next week. Yep. And Park City will find out tomorrow morning who you play in the first round. Matt Carlson, congratulations on a great season. Thanks for taking a minute with us.
Thanks, Brent. You're awesome. Appreciate you.
Hey everyone, right now we are joined by the Park City Mountain Biking Club. We're here with Coach Best as well as Molly and Lauren, and we're coming off of a big week just a couple of days ago, coming off of the state championships, things like that. Coach, how did it go?
It went outstanding. So the kids brought home 5th. That was out of a Division I, which is a large schools. So I think it's about 28 Division I teams. So 5th was a pretty good score for us.
Yeah.
Pretty good finish.
And Molly, how did it go for you specifically in terms of performance and things like that?
I was just there more to have fun. I finished with our stuffed fox on my back. So, I was just...
Molly is our spirit animal.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, my performance was just more on having fun and not having to really worry about how I place.
Yeah. And Lauren, I believe you won state, is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
And so could you tell us a little bit about that?
It was really fun. It was a really good experience, and I got to meet a lot of new people, and it was just a really good experience.
Yeah, it was probably, you've been on this team for a couple of years now, I'm assuming, is that correct?
No, this was actually my first year.
Okay, so from first year biking, mountain biking, to becoming a state champion, that's a pretty unbelievable feat to overcome. What was that like to kind of just blossom into this mountain biking performance that you have now in the state?
Yeah, I've always ridden, I've ridden my whole life, but coming into it, I wasn't expecting to do so well, but I don't know, after my first race, I got second, and then I was like, I should push for first, and then I pushed to keep that lead, so.
That's unbelievable, Coach. You have to be super proud, I'm assuming.
Well, proud of the whole team, obviously,
yeah.
But yeah, Lauren was something special this year.
Yeah.
She just, day one, and she could ride a bike, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
In terms of the entire team, who else was specifically really, really excelling?
That's the cool thing about our team. It was across the board. So all the way from freshmen were performing well, all the way up to varsity. Our girls as a whole were dominant. So we had, there's 50 podium spots up for grabs at state, for the girls, and our team took 7 of them. It's 74 teams all fighting for the same spot, so that's pretty cool. So Real quick, Abby Prine, 4th in girls varsity. Kaya Patterson was 9th in girls varsity. Lauren, we know. Scarlett Golray and Katie Costello, a new first-year racer, also made the podium in JV. So, yeah, we had a pretty good showing.
Molly, for you, what was maybe the highlight of this season? What was the most fun for you to be a part of this team and things like that?
I don't know. I got to be a captain this year, so I'm always the one like trying to get my team to get out and cheer for everyone. I planned themes for each race, which were always really fun. You could easily spot a Park City from what our theme was that race. I think we did a tropical theme our first race. We did 80s. I can't even think of the rest of them. Halloween. So I don't know. I think it was really cool to just see my team just like enjoying themselves and just having fun, because we don't want a team that is pushing so hard that they're not having fun. We're pushing hard, but we're also having fun with it. So it was really cool to see that.
And Lauren, did you find that too? Like, as much as you were competing at a very high level, did you also find yourself just having fun throughout the season and finding ways to enjoy what you were doing?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of fun this season. It was definitely like a new experience for me, and just everyone on the team made it so much fun.
Yeah. And Coach, overall, I mean, we talked a few months ago, and we were talking about the numbers and how big it's getting. I'm assuming after a year like this, it's going to continue to grow even more and more. Is that something that is fair to say?
I think we can expect that, yeah. I mean, we've been growing. I mean, we're at 205 this year, and so we have a number of part-timers on the team who are kind of in it for cross-training for other programs. We can accommodate them. So that's a big program, but a lot of the riders are either for part of the year or just they're cross-training for other sports, which is perfectly cool. But I think in 2 years we'll probably max out around 240. That seems to be the trend for us, that's a big program.
That is a very, very big program. We've talked about that plenty of times. In terms of the future, what does the rest of this year look like, and then what does next season look like? I'll just kind of leave that up to whomever.
Well, look out the window. It looks like we're skiing. So
yeah.
Our season's done. So it's we'll get we're basically done. The kids will transition. Most of them have winter sport activities, so they'll transition there. And a lot of our more competitive riders, they will actually start ramping up their training in early spring for the pre-high school races that show up throughout the state and honestly throughout the country. We have about 12 riders now who compete fairly much on a national level at different events.
Molly, what's your plan for what's to come? Obviously, snow sports probably for the next couple of months here. But when we hit that early spring, are you going to be one of those people competing?
Unfortunately not. It is my last year. I'm a senior this year, so I won't be coming back to the team. I mean, I'm always going to be there to support it. My little brother's still on the team still, so I'll probably still show up on races and be able to cheer my team on, but I won't be back next season, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. And what about you, Lauren? What's the plan for the future as well?
Well, I'm actually a swimmer, which it is my main sport, but I really enjoy mountain bike riding, and I'm going to try to just ride before high school starts, so start riding in the spring as much as I can to get prepared for high school season.
Well, I also really want to transition over to one of the bigger storylines of this entire thing. Obviously, the team did fantastic, but Coach, you received a very prestigious award in becoming Coach of the Year. Could you tell us a little bit about that and how it felt to be awarded that?
Felt awesome. I won't lie, because it came from your team, submitting petitions, applications. I'm not sure how the whole process goes down, but yeah, that was pretty cool getting that recognition, because Nike has some guidelines that are maybe a little different than other sports. They have some core principles that it basically comes down to principle before performance, and we've been really harping on executing on those, and to just see it all come together. Because I got Coach of the Year, but Molly got a pretty prestigious award. Heather Sims as well, Volunteer of the Year. It was an across the board win for the whole team and just what we're trying to do. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and Molly, could you tell us a little bit about your award as well?
So I got the Spread the Stoke Award, which was pretty much just the person that's always there for when someone needs them. And I wasn't expecting it at all. Of course, my parents knew, and they know I hate surprises, but I got it anyways. But I was really, really honored to get it because I just felt like my team knows that I'm there for them and they can always come to me if they need anything. And yeah, it was a really cool award to get, so yeah.
I mean, this is unbelievable. We've got the state champion.
Yeah.
We've got like the biggest team player in the entire state.
Yeah.
And we've also got the best coach in the entire state. So I mean, this team is stacked in terms of not only performance but also just camaraderie. It seems like it.
It is a massive gang of 200 friends. I know that sounds impossible, but that's really what it feels like. I mean, everybody there. I mean, there's just no outsiders on this team. Everybody's there for each other. They support each other. One of the really cool things that's really developed over the last couple of years is when these kids finish their race, they get a drink, and every one of them gets out of the pit area, they get on the finish line, they cheer in the very last Raiders of the day, regardless of team.
Is that something that a lot of teams do, or is that pretty specific to Park City?
I mean, you always see other people cheering, but as a team activity, I think it's kind of unique. I mean, because you look at these last finishers of the day, I mean, they're gassed. I mean, and they're trying just as hard as everybody else. And I think our riders have come to recognize, wow, those guys did the same race, worked just as hard as I did. And you know, it's pretty cool when you're coming in maybe a half hour behind, and there's a whole team cheering you in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's all in them. They've developed that culture themselves, and couldn't be more proud of them.
Well, an unbelievable team, and I think more than anything, this team is just continuing to grow and continuing to blossom into something that is so special here. It's just such a special thing. How can someone get involved? Someone who might be coming into high school or also just wants to join?
They got to get a hold of me, so or whoever's helping me with it next year. ParkCityMTV@gmail.com. There's contacts through the high school. If I could remember our web, you asked me this last time, and I can't remember our website, but it's out there. If you Google Park City MTB, you'll link to us one way or the other. Yeah.
Well, we hope that it continues to grow, and we also hope that the program continues to be full of talent from all across the board. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the Scoreboard. On Friday, we're going to be talking about the Wasatch Wasps. I mean, they have had an unbelievable run in the 5A playoffs. They are in the quarterfinals going into Friday's game versus Timpview at Timpview. That's going to be the number 2 seed versus the number 23 seed. But as Wasatch has proved, they have continued to upset team after team over these last couple of weeks. We cannot wait for it. For everyone at the Scoreboard, I'm Blake O'Rourke, and we will see you all on Friday.